Hi yogis. In this practice we are going to work towards Gomukhasana, so cow face pose, and we need to have quite open shoulders and hips for that, so we'll be kind of building up and working the body towards that peak pose as we go. So we're going to start lying down today, which is always nice. So just come to lay on your mat. Your knees can stay bent if you like, or you can straighten them out. I like to keep mine bent and just have the knees kind of touching in to the middle. Just rest your hands upon your belly. Close your eyes if you haven't already. And just take a few breaths. Start to deepen your breath. Really use this time just to come back to yourself. A pause in your normal life. A pause in your doing. And just coming back to being, to feeling. Let's just take a few breaths together. So inhale, fill your belly, your ribs, and your chest. And then exhale, relax your chest, ribs, and belly. Inhale, belly, ribs, chest. Exhale, chest, ribs, belly. Just trying to use your whole lung capacity. Inhale, belly, ribs, chest, full up to your collarbones, and then exhale. All the way, empty out. One more. Lovely. Then you can start to open your eyes. Take your right ankle over your left knee for our figure four pose. You can lift that left foot from the floor if you like. And I like to just move a little bit, especially if this is one of the first poses you do. It's nice to just keep it a little bit, a little bit of movement, so not completely static. Sometimes little circles feels nice. Keep your breath a little bit deeper. Okay, and then lower that left foot back down. Just move my blocks out the way. You're going to move that left foot out to the left. Turn the left toes out diagonally and let the knees drop to the right. And your head can look to the left. Just take a breath here, inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Turn your head back to center. Lift your legs up. Let's swap sides. Left ankle over right knee. Draw that knee in. Hold behind it if you like. And then again, just maybe a little bit of a rock from side to side. So to keep your knee safe, your left knee, if you feel sensation there that doesn't feel particularly good, okay, just lessen that. Just lower the right foot down a bit more. And also flex your left foot, and that helps to keep the knee safe. Okay. Maybe little circles just for the last few seconds. And then lower that right foot down, move it a little bit over to the right with the right toes turning out diagonally to the right and the knees drop to the left. It's kind of an open twist. You get a nice stretch across the front of the right hip and the kind of right side body. Breathe here. You can make that nice ocean sound, your Ujjayi breath. And then you can lift those legs back up to center. We're just going to do a little bridge lift, okay? But we're going to do it really rolling through the spine. So we'll start with just some pelvic tilts and then we'll move into like a full bridge. Okay, so first as you inhale, drop your belly kind of moves in towards your spine and you drop your lower back. So instead of there being a curve off the floor, you actually flatten the lower back so it's on the floor, if that makes sense. Okay, and then you can tilt it back up as you exhale. So as you inhale, you flatten the curve of your lower back to bring it down. Then as you exhale, come back onto that kind of tailbone and create that curve again. So just do that a few times by yourself. Okay, and then we're going to inhale to lower that lower back down and then just start peeling the rest of the spine up as you press into your feet. And then exhale with control, rolling back down vertebra by vertebra. Create that curve again, so really come on to the tailbone. Inhale. Peel the spine up. Exhale. Lower it down. And just do that a few more times, really matching your movement and your breath. Warming up the spine, getting the juices flowing. Okay, and then when you're up, you can stay up and then reach your arms up over your head as well. Take one more breath here. And then lowering your arms and your spine gently back down. Okay, I'm going to roll over onto our belly. So just help yourself over. I've got to be careful with my microphone, but I'll stay a little bit more upright. You can come just flat onto your side of your face if you like. Okay, so you're just going to bring your right arm out in line with your right shoulder. Okay, your left arm bends and you just kind of create this kind of cactus arm with that left arm. You can press into the fingertips. Bend your left knee. Okay, so you just lift that lower left leg. And then keeping that right arm straight, you just kind of roll onto the right side body. You can just tap the floor with your left foot behind you. Breathe. One more breath. And then turning back to center. We'll do the same on the other side. So cactus position with the right hand. The left arm comes out straight in line with the left knee. And then start to roll over onto your left side, just tapping the floor behind you with your right foot. 2 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. come back to center. Let's take a little Sphinx pose, so just bring your forearms down. Just keep it really soft. Take your legs a little bit wider apart so your buttocks can relax and you can drop your head down. Take a breath. Okay, we're going to lower back down, tuck the toes and bring the hands under the shoulders so you can push up to a tabletop position. And just readjust yourself so your hands are under your shoulders and your knees are under your hips. Cat-cows, inhale, drop your belly, lift your tail, chest and chin. Exhale, round the back, chin to chest. Inhale, belly drops, lift tail, chest, chin. Exhale, draw in. Just keep that going a few more times. Okay, coming back to your tabletop. My microphone's fallen out, sorry. I'll just slot it back in. Back to your tabletop. And then we're going to lift the right leg, okay? So inhale, lift the right leg as you drop your belly and lift your chin. And then exhale, draw your right knee in towards your chest. Inhale, press the ground away. Lift up through that right heel. Exhale, knee towards nose. 2 more, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. The next time you inhale and lift that leg up, flex through the foot, and you're just going to push through that heel up towards the sky just to switch the glutes on. So you'll start to feel it soon as you just kind of tap the imaginary low ceiling above you. Lovely. And then let's just do a few outside circles. Oh, we just had a little pop. A few outside kind of semicircles with that right leg. Okay, and then take that right leg out to the right. Okay, so it's just straight out to the side. Move your left knee across a little bit, just until you feel sensation in the inner right leg. You can lower down a bit if you like. And to get more sensation, you just simply move your bum towards the back of your mat. Take one more breath here. Inhale, come back up. Okay, and we're going to just move that left knee back in again, so it's in that kind of alignment with the hip. Can you lift your right leg up, bring it behind you, wrap it behind, and then sink the bum back. So as if you're coming into your cow face pose legs, but we're not going to come deep, okay? We're just kind of starting to prepare for it. Inhale, take that right leg out. Exhale, wrap it behind and sink back. Inhale, right leg out to the side. That's quite hard. That's hard for the muscles on the hip. Strengthens them. Sink back. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Sink back. Okay, inhale. Come back up. Release that right leg. We're going to just lift it up into the air one more time. And then step it through between the hands for a lunge. Step that left knee back a little bit. So you're in your nice low lunge. You can feel an opening across the left hip flexor, maybe under the right leg. Take an inhale. And then as you exhale, straighten through that front leg as you bring your weight back, flexing through your right foot. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, come back. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, back. You might do this if you have blocks at home. It can be really handy just to move the blocks with you. If you find it a bit hard to just move back with your fingertips or with your hands if you can't quite reach. Okay, and then let's just do a little twist. So stay forward in your lunge, bring your left hand down and inhale. Just to open up and lift through that right arm. Exhale here. Take one more inhale. And then exhale, bring that hand back down. Step back to your tabletop. Okay, and as you just move your bum from side to side, can you feel that there's a big difference now between the right and the left? We've really worked and opened that right hip and leg. We're going to balance it up now. Okay, so inhale, drop your belly, lift your left knee, keep it bent, lift your chin. Exhale, draw the knee in towards the nose. Inhale, lift that leg up. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale. One more, curling in. And then lifting that left leg up and tapping the imaginary ceiling, okay, with your left heel. Just switching on the glutes. Okay, so while we want to be able to open the hips, we also want to strengthen. So yoga is not just about always stretching, overstretching and releasing. We want to find that balance between strength and flexibility, always. We need both the yin and the yang in our practice and in life. Okay, so we're going to take that leg now to do little half circles. I'm going to just switch around so that you can see this side properly. So half semicircles. So forward with the knee and then out to the side and round. Forward, out and round. Oh, it's quite juicy, it's quite strong. Breathe. Okay, then let's take that leg out to the left. Okay, toes pointing forward if possible, pinky side of that foot down if possible. Move that right knee out to the side a bit so you get sensation in your groin. You can lower down onto your forearms. You can sink your bum back a bit towards your heels if you like. Stay for a breath. Inhale, lift back up. Draw that right knee back so it's in line with the right hip. I'm going to have to move these blocks out of the way. Okay, so inhale, lift that left leg up. Exhale, bring it behind. Tuck it behind that right knee and sink back towards your Gomukhasana legs, but not going too deep. Okay, inhale, take that leg back out. Exhale, bring it back, tuck it behind. Inhale. Exhale. Let's do two more. Make sure you're breathing, and if you can, match a part of your movement with your breath. Okay, lift that leg back out, bring it back. Inhale, lift that knee up behind you again, drop the belly, lift the chin. Exhale, step it through. I'm going to turn back. So you're in a low lunge with the left leg forward. Okay, just take a moment. Just feel into the hips. Allow them to marinate in this shape. Send your breaths all the way into your belly. And as the breath fills the belly, it almost fills the hips as well. Okay, and then as you inhale, straighten out that leg. Exhale, come back forward again. And just do that a few more times. Stay with your body. Stay out of your head, out of your thoughts, your plans. Just be here with yourself. Okay, stay forward. Bring your right hand down. Inhale, lift that left arm up. Bit of a twist. Take another breath in. And then breathe out to bring your hand back down. Step back to your tabletop. And then to your downward facing dog, tucking your toes, lifting your hips, just walking out those legs. Okay, we're going to drop the knees now and come to a seated position. So you can just simply sit back like I am on your heels. If that's not comfortable, you can sit cross-legged instead. Just going to do a little bit of work on the shoulders. So inhale, just lift your left arm up, bend through it and bring the palm to the kind of bottom of the neck, okay? And then bring your other hand on top and just gently press into it. Take a breath. Take another one. Okay, and then release. We'll do the same on the other side. So lift your left arm up, bend through the elbow, hand, bottom of neck, right hand on top, press into it. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, releasing the arms and just bring your hands on top of your shoulders. So bend your elbows and just bring your fingertips on the tops of your arms and then just do some big circles. So inward circles and outward circles. Keep breathing, observing any tension you've got there. Couple more inward circles, couple more outward circles, and then release. Okay, we're going to come back onto all fours. And then we're going to bring the left forearm down so it's parallel to the top of your mat. And straighten out your right arm, coming into a half puppy dog. So just bringing your forehead down onto that left arm. Breathe here. Feeling a nice opening under your right armpit. Okay. Inhale, lift your head back up. Draw that right hand back in and push yourself up. And then bring your right forearm down, left arm out. Bring your head down onto your right forearm and kind of reach as far as you can with that left arm, just so you feel the fibres kind of around the armpit having a nice stretch. Press into your fingertips of the left hand. Okay. Press into your forearm as you lift back up, bring that hand back in, back to your tabletop. Just arch the back briefly for a cat pose, and then tuck your toes and push back to your downward facing dog. Walking out the legs. Any cracks in the feet? I'm very cracky today. Let's inhale and rock forward to a plank position. Exhale, lower the knees down, come onto the belly. Inhale, lift up your half kind of cobra, so you don't have to come up too high. Exhale, lower back down, tuck toes, push back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg into the air for a 3-leg dog. Circle the ankle to release any cracks there. Look to the hands, step that right foot through. Plant the left heel down. We're going to come up, warrior number 2. Inhale here. Exhale. Just let your hips marinate here in this shape. 3 more breaths. Okay, I'm going to bring the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers, a little bit of a shoulder opener. Inhale, draw the shoulders back, lift the heart, and exhale, bow forward, humble warrior, just to the left kind of that right leg. Just coming down just as far as you can, doesn't matter how far that is though. Just breathe. Inhale, lift back up, back to your warrior number 2. Exhale, windmill the arms down, step back into your downward facing dog and just paddle out the feet again. Walk out the legs. Take a big sighing breath out. Next, inhale, lift that left leg up, circle the ankle, freeing any air from your joints. Look to your hands, step, help that left foot through. If it doesn't quite make it up, plant the back heel. Coming up, warrior 2 on this side. So you might spread your feet a little bit wider apart. Gaze at your middle finger and have this feeling of letting the hips marinate in this shape. I feel like moving through my fingers too. If you ever get any just kind of feelings or kind of just wanting to move slightly in different poses, just do it. Just use each pose as a chance to explore your body. What wants to move? What wants to stay still? Okay, bring your hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers. Inhale, lift the heart. And exhale, humble warrior. Bend forward. Breathing here. Okay, inhale, lift back up, warrior 2. Legs are probably screaming at you. Mine are. Bring your hands back forward and down. Step back, downward dog. Again, wiggle out your legs. Breathe. Maybe sighing breaths out through your mouth. Inhale, rock yourself forward to your plank. Exhale, lower your knees down onto the belly. Inhale, lift cobra. Exhale, lower back down, tuck toes, push back. Downward facing dog. So from your inhale, lifting your right leg up into the air, 3-leg dog. And then exhale, step it through between your hands, help it through. if it doesn't make it. And then turn towards the long side of your mat for a wide leg forward fold. Your hands can rest onto your legs or onto the floor if they can reach. Just take a few breaths here. See if you can bring your weight more into the kind of the front of the foot, so the balls of the foot and the toes, the heels. They won't lift, but you're just kind of bringing your weight a little bit forward, just seeing how that feels. Okay, and then we're going to turn towards the back of the mat for a lunge. Okay, so you're going to bend into that left knee. Pivot your feet so the right heel is lifted, the right leg is straight, and the left leg is bent. Okay, drop the right knee down and just move that left foot out to the left a little bit with the toes turning out for a lizard lunge. Okay, and you can bring your hands down. Some people can lower down onto the forearms. Okay, just stay where feels accessible for you. Okay, you might just bend the elbows a little bit. Breathe here. Those fibers in the hips that are getting a nice stretch. Okay, if you've lowered down, come back onto your hands. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. Right hand is going to stay down. Left hand is going to come onto that left leg, and you're just kind of opening up into a lizard twist. You can do that with the back knee down as well, up to you. And you can lift that left arm up for a further challenge. Take one breath in, and a breath out brings you back down into your lizard. And we're just going to turn back to the side of the mat, kind of into a ninja squat. Okay, so one leg's bent, the other straight. We're just going to ninja from side to side. So you can have your hands low. You might actually just do this a little bit higher up, so you might be more like that. That's okay too. Okay, and then turning to the top of your mat in your kind of runner's lunge, drop the back knee, take that right foot out to the right a little bit. Lizard lunge on this side. Toes can turn out diagonally if you like. Hands down. Lower down if you like, or stay up. Close your eyes just for a couple of breaths, just going deep into your belly, into your hips. Lovely. If you've lowered down, come back up onto your hands. Lift your back knee, so straighten that back leg. Come onto just your left hand, right hand goes onto that right knee. Twist your lizard, lift that right arm up if you like. Take a breath. Okay, lowering that hand back down. We'll step back to a downward facing dog. And then we'll inhale, rock forward to a plank again. Exhale, lower down onto the belly. Inhale, little cobra or up dog if you feel like it. Exhale, back down. Tuck toes, push back. Downward facing dog. We're going to come into our pigeon pose. So taking your right knee forward, just behind the right wrist. Okay, and then you lower your left knee down. Then you kind of use your knee and your toes to just take that left leg back a little bit. Lower down onto your forearms if you like, or stay up if you like. If this feels too intense for your knee, you're going to just lie back and do your figure four pose again. So it's like this. Lie back with the right ankle over the left knee. So this stretch works the same part of the body, but it's just less pressure on the knee. So feel free to come into that version instead. We're going to stay for a few more breaths. And again, just really send your breaths down into your belly. Stay out of your head. Okay, and then we're going to press back up. With an inhale, just help yourself up. Tuck your toes of your left foot and push back to your downward facing dog. Left side, inhale, left knee comes forward for your pigeon pose. If you're on your back for figure four, just putting your left ankle over your right knee. Just slide that right knee back a bit. You can keep the toes tucked of that right foot if that helps you to feel more stable. Okay, then coming down. Maybe onto your forearms, maybe flat, one hand on top of the other and your head down. Just what feels good. Come back to your breathing. Okay. And lift back up onto the hands. Instead of coming back to down dog, we're going to tilt onto the left buttock, okay, and then spin that right leg forward. So the right leg is straight out in front and the left foot is on the right inner thigh, ready for our Janu Shirshasana, or our one leg forward fold, half butterfly. Inhale here. And exhale to fold forward over your right leg. Keep the breaths going. Feeding into the bulk of your hamstrings, the back of that right leg. Okay, inhale to come back up. Okay, we're going to take that left knee now on top of the right. I'm going to just spin actually so you can see me better. So the left knee on top of the right, the pinky side of the left foot is down next to the right hip. Okay, this is kind of a half cow face pose, so you can stay like this, okay? Next stage will be just to tilt a little bit to your right and then tuck that right leg underneath as well. Okay, so you've got your left leg on top, your right leg underneath. And you'll feel that is opening the hips. It's externally rotating the hips. Okay, so that might feel quite intense for you. If it's too much, just lengthen the right leg, the underneath leg again. So for those of you like me that have quite naturally internally rotated hips, a pose like this feels very intense, but very good to practice. For those of you that have got more kind of externally rotated hips and you find it really easy to come forward in wide leg forward folds, for example, you might like to make this deeper by just coming a bit forward with your chest. Okay, but we're actually going to do the arms too before we come forward. So left arm comes into the air, bend at the elbow, bring the hand to the bottom of the neck again, and then this time bring your right hand behind and try and reach. Okay, so you've got one elbow going up and one down. If you can't reach, hold your t-shirt, or if you have a strap handy, you can hold a strap. Breathe here. See what you can relax in your hips. If you want to fold forward, you can fold forward. Okay, releasing the arms first. I'm going to show you a little trick to get to the other side. Okay, so your left leg's on top, so that means you have to spin round to the right. Okay, so you bring your hands around to the right and behind you and kind of unravel your legs, so you end up sort of in a wide leg forward fold facing to the back. Okay, then you just keep going, you stay pivoting on your big toes, and you end up with your right leg on top for your cow face pose. Okay, if that didn't quite work out for you, you can just come into it the easier way. So you'll have your left leg out in front, your right leg over the top, and you can either stay here or you can tilt to the left and bring that left leg underneath. Okay, so right arm comes up, bend through the arm, reach for your left hand that's behind you, or hold your t-shirt, or hold a yoga strap, or a belt, or whatever you have. And breathe. You can fold forward if you like. For me, this side feels way tighter. And you often find that there's kind of not perfect symmetry between both sides of your body. One more breath. Okay, and then release your arms. Lean over to your left side just to straighten out your left leg. Release your right leg onto your left inner thigh. We'll do our Janu Shashasana on this side. Inhale here, press through your sit bones, long spine. Exhale, fold over your leg. Enjoy that stretch in the back of your left leg. Last breath. Inhale, come back up. We're going to take the legs wider apart for a wide leg seated forward fold. I'm going to sit on my brick because I find it much easier for my very internally rotated hips if I sit up. If you feel tight in the hamstrings or hips, then I suggest sitting up on something. It will just help you to come forward. Inhale here. Exhale to fold, trying to hinge forward from your hips. And there can be a little bit of movement, okay? There can be a bit of a bend in the knees if that's what your body calls for. Or you can stay completely still, it's up to you. Close your eyes and take 3 breaths. With your next inhale, use your hands to help you come back up. Okay, we're going to come into another seated pose. I'm going to come off the block. I might need to come back on it again, but we'll see. So we're going to do another pose for the hips, opening them up. So bring your left lower leg parallel to the top of your mat. This is called square pose. And then you can bring your right foot kind of on top. Okay, so my hips are very tight. So for me, this is pretty much impossible unless I stack 2 blocks like that. Okay, but for you, you might have more open hips than me. You might be able to stay here quite easily. There's less space between the knee and the foot. Another option is to just bring that right foot just in front of the left leg. So that's the option that I'm going to do. Okay, and then just come forward a little bit in my version, in the version that I'm in with the foot in front. You might be able to come forward if your hips are very open with the right foot on top of the left leg, but just see how you go. And just feel in. Take a breath. It's also known as double pigeon. Okay, inhale, come back up. If you've lowered down, swapping sides, so maybe just unravel and then bring your right leg, lower leg parallel to the top of the mat. Your left foot can either just come on top of that leg, maybe just beneath the knee. You might have, this side's a bit easier for me. Okay, so I just need 1 brick there. And I can come forward into my double pigeon. Okay, otherwise that left ankle can just slot in front of that right shin. Okay, like we did before, just for an easier version. Breathe, noting the difference between this side and the last. Okay. Inhale, come back up. Release your legs. Just bring both out in front, but keep them bent. Let's just windscreen wiper the legs from side to side. Just loosening out all the muscles around the hips. We've been working so hard. Okay, next time your knees are down to the left, keep them there. Bring your right hand from behind you and all the way around so you face the back of your mat for a twist. Feeling that nice squeeze around your middle. Take 1 more breath. Turning back to center. We'll do a little reverse tabletop, so hands behind, fingers pointing in. Knees might come up, legs a bit closer together. Okay, inhale, press into the feet, lift up. Continue breathing. Press the floor away. And lower the hips back down. Take the feet a bit wider apart again. And then drop the knees over to your right. Take your left hand from behind you and bring it round for a twist the other way. So you're facing the back of your mat. Breathe into that shape. Last breath. turning yourself back to the top, to the front of your mat. Another little reverse tabletop, so feet about hip distance apart. Inhale, lift up. Maybe lifting your chin. Exhaling. Lowering back down. And we're going to come onto our backs. Drawing both knees in towards your chest. Rocking from side to side. You can turn this into a happy baby pose if you like, taking hold of your ankles or your feet if you can reach them. And kind of opening the hips out again to either side, knees to either side of the torso. And the arms are in the inner parts of the leg, and you just kind of grab hold of I hold the pinky edges of the feet. That works for me, but you might hold the big toes. Okay, and then slowing your rocking back down. Bring your feet back down onto the mat. And then stretch out your legs into your final Shavasana. Your hips probably feel very open now. Just observe that. Just take your feet a bit apart. Mine are always a little bit wider than my mat. Buttocks relaxed. Palms facing up. A little bit away from the body. I'm going to sit up to talk you through it, but please stay where you are. And just observe the four corners of your body. Your shoulders and your hips. Is there anything you can do to relax them? Are you holding them unconsciously? See if you can release them. Just let this recalibration happen. It just happens by itself. Nervous system balances. And just let this recalibration happen. There's nothing that you have to do. Just let the nervous system settle. And we're always so ready for action. Our lives are so busy. The nervous system often doesn't recognize that we're not in danger. Okay, the fight or flight mode we can be in just in daily life. Just let yourself rest, knowing that in this moment you are safe. You are safe to rest. Now I'm going to leave you here, but please stay as long as your body needs. You'll feel that kind of readiness to get up again, but just really stay if you need to. Thanks so much for joining me. Namaste.